Traders War Room wants to thank you, the viewer, for coming along with us on this journey. Please check out the description because all links and relevant content covered in the video will be located there, as well as all the social media platforms and some online brokerage so that you can get involved in the stock market. What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. Listen, this is your Sunday Motivator, and we got a lot in store, okay? We're going to talk about Elon Musk and Saturday Night Live. We're going to talk about earnings, and we got the winner of the You Pick It. I buy the 5 stocks I put out there as a poll in the metals and minerals. We got a winner, and that's the stock I'm going to buy on Monday, and we're going to break it down and talk about what to expect in this type of industry, all right, in the future. Now, at this time, I need you to like, share, subscribe, join the team, join the community. Come with us on this journey, guys. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Discord, and Reddit. There's a social media platform out there. All the links are in the description. I need you to come with us. We got a challenge basically on the Facebook page, the run to 500, where if we make 500 by the end of May, I'm gonna do a live stream, and I got some little gift bags, some gift cards, little souvenirs that I'm gonna post out to just random people. We're gonna do a drawing. It's gonna be a fun event. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, tell your friends, come with us. Listen, I post a lot of information, and if you're not part of the social media group as a whole and all you do is watch this YouTube, you're doing yourself a disservice, because a lot of the alerts, the good ones, the bad ones, and what to watch for, they come out on those platforms real time. So get spun up, come with us on this journey, and as always, if you're ready, follow me, and let's go to war together, guys. Traders War Room wants to remind the viewer that all content on this channel is for education and entertainment purposes only. You are responsible for every move you make within the stock market. Tread cautiously and tread carefully, but have fun and go to war. Hey, I want to give a shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day to you, all right? And to the lady traders, listen, do your thing out there. You guys rock, and you guys are killing it. So make sure you guys give a shout out to all the moms out there and show them some love today. All right, team. Hey, first and foremost, thank you to all the members that are loyal and staying with us on this journey, okay? You guys are the reason why we put out such great content, and we strive to make excellent things out there and excellent calls, and we're getting better because of you guys. So as always, thank you guys for being with us and being part of the community. Next, let's talk about Saturday Night Live, all right? Elon Musk was out there. I thought it was a good episode. I thought the skits fit his personality. I mean, he was even a mission commander for a mission in Mars. That's Elon Musk in a nutshell. When I think Elon Musk, that's what I think of, right? There was some, hit or miss things with what people are saying, trending on the social media platforms, saying he called Dogecoin a hustle. He didn't represent it. Man, look, let's point it out, okay? I thought he represented Dogecoin perfectly, right? He said he was going to give his mother Dogecoin for Mother's Day. He said that it was going to take over the world. He even pointed up and said, to the moon. And he even, said that he referred to himself as the Doge father, okay? I thought he represented Dogecoin pretty well, all right? Now, yes, he called it a hustle, but I wouldn't get spun up on the term the hustle, because check it out. What are we doing in the stock market? We're hustling. All right, what am I doing on YouTube right now? Essentially, I'm hustling, right? If you ain't hustling to try to make it better and your life better in the end, so that you're elevating yourself, your family, your friends, whoever comes along with you on this journey, if you ain't hustling to be better tomorrow than you are today, then you're doing yourself a disservice, all right? We all hustling, we all trying to make it, we're all trying to get there, right? And where's there? That's up. Any way you look at it, it's a hustle on up, okay? So not too worried about it. Thought it was a good skit, and I'll pay attention to Saturday Night Live a little bit. It's kind of funny. There for a little bit, it was a little low, but I'm actually enjoying it. So that's what I got on the Elon Musk, Dogecoin, and Saturday Night Live. But now let's get into some real stuff, right? Let's talk about some earnings. So I'm going to give you guys the earnings that's up next week. I'm going to talk about a couple of them, and let's see if we can ride some of these waves and make a pretty decent little profit. So let's talk about some earnings right now. Let's get it. All right, and here's the most anticipated earnings that are for the week of May 10th. I circled all the ones that I kind of got my eye on. There's a lot more, though, but these are the ones that really got my eye. They're the ones that I think have the most volatility or the most, opportunity to get in at a good level and get out. Some of these will be good for calls, some of these will be good for puts, and some of these will be good to get in low and hold positions for long term. So take a look at them. We're going to talk about a couple of the charts here in a second, but definitely make sure you got your plan going into next week and then following weeks on some of these opportunities right here and some of these stocks and companies. All right, first one on the list is VUZI, VUZI. So listen, I think this is an attractive price right here. Depending on what earnings tell us, will depend whether this goes up or goes down. If earnings are poor, I can see this dropping down to the $13, $12 range. But if earnings are good or they're right at the level, I see this going up because it's below its 50-day EMA line. All right, it looks as though the MACD is below its center point, looking to cross up. I like this going into this week. I think if it does pull back, we'll see that it'll start jumping up once it hits that $13 to $12 range. Now, if it doesn't pull back and they have good earnings and they kill it, watch for this to rise up. I see this going up to maybe $24, $25. So definitely got this on my eye. This one would be one of my ones that I would look to make a favorable move going into this week. Here's a little information on VUZI Corp, or however you say it, but pause this, read this. They're basically into this technology, augmented reality stuff. So this is big stuff in the future. If not now, this thing is going to be a beast, especially if they get their company squared away and they continue to make heavy moves like bosses on the low in this industry. All right, another one on a lot of people's watch list definitely is Planter Technology, PLTR. Now, if you look at the chart, this thing has been beat up. It actually, where it's at currently, is an attractive price for long-term holding. But I like this moving into this week. I don't know how earnings are going to go. Earnings are going to be a telling sign, but I see this going up into earnings, pulling back at earnings, and if they crush earnings, this thing will start creeping up back into the mid-20s. That's my opinion. I like where the RSI is at. It's at that 30 level. I like the volume coming in, and everything looks good for this primed to run up going into earnings. Buy the rumors, sell the news, and then after earnings, if they do well, expect for this thing to go up. So I wouldn't be too hesitant on doing some call options, especially for a week out, not maybe this week, but pushing out the call options for next week. But we'll have to see what this does on Monday. Little background on PLTR. This is not new news, okay? I mean, this one's been covered by every type of YouTube influencer out there, news agency. PLTR is kind of a household name now. If you're in the stock market and you don't know what PLTR is, then you really haven't been paying attention. But pause this, take a look, read up a little bit, and do your own due diligence. Another one that has my eye is FUBO. Man, this thing has been completely destroyed, but I'm liking where it's at. At this level, the $16.50 range, the $17 range, I'm liking this one. This is a level where I'm considering getting in long-term hold on this. And long-term for me with FUBO would be 6 months to a year. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's down at the 30 RSI. It's below the center line at the MACD, looking like possibly it could cross over and rise up. And it has some small volume. I'm looking for this to have a run-up into earnings. If they crush earnings, I expect this thing to bounce up, and I would not be surprised if this ends up into the $20 age range. I'm looking at options. Options, I would go a month out on this one, though. Give it a little bit of time to rise up, but we definitely want to be close to in the money if we're thinking options. And here, pause this a little bit, take a look. This is FUBO at its best. Read up on it. It's basically an online platform, and they got some rumors and hints about starting to open up some online betting. So I like this going into the near term and possibly continuing on throughout the summer into the end of the year. All right, and you guys remember this, Wish, the little brother of eBay and Amazon. Look, Wish has been getting destroyed, and I like this at the price where it's at right now. This is a long hold for me, so I'm long this 200 shares, but that's for, just holding forever, basically, until this thing, comes and becomes something huge. But I like these guys going into earnings. I think they're going to crush earnings because People are still buying their gadgets and gizmos, and their logistics and supply chain is getting a lot better than it used to be years ago. So I like these guys going into earnings. You should pay attention to them and definitely watch them. I could see these guys spiking up to around $15, maybe $16. And here's a little bit about it. Pause, read up on Wish. If you guys aren't spun up on Wish, you guys need to be. This could be, in the future, I'm thinking 5-10 years down the road, this could definitely be, one of those Amazon, eBay type of contenders. I don't think they're going to knock the king off the throne, but they definitely could be part of the royalty. All right, next one that has my eye is Shift Technologies, SFT. These guys are a used car company. They've been trading kind of sideways. I'm looking for these guys to break out. As you see, their EMA lines there. They're below their 20-day. They're right at their 50-day. And I think these guys are primed to explode, especially on some good earnings. The RSI, they're a little bit below 50, and they're underneath the line on the MACD, but starting to curl up. I think these guys crossed the MACD. I think with a crush earnings, and I see these guys pushing up this week. I think this is a good bet for this week to increase. I'd like to see these guys at $9 or $10. Here's a little background on them. Look these guys up, do your own DD, but I like Shift moving into the future. I think the used car market is going to start seeing a surge as people are looking for decent used cars, and Shift has a niche in this company. You're seeing a lot more commercials on TV. I like these guys moving forward in the future. All right, and the last one we're going to talk about is Blink Charging, all right? Look, it's been trading kind of sideways on kind of a downward trend, seeing a little bit of bearish divergence, but I like these guys going into earnings week. I think we're going to start seeing an uptick. I don't think they're going to hit, above, $37, $38, or they're not going to see anything extravagant like hitting up into the 50s anytime soon, but I like these guys moving up. I think these guys are going to do fairly well on earnings, and at least the sentiment is going to be there, and I think these guys are going to be extremely popular and extremely important in the near future. So this is definitely nearing a buy zone. I'd like to see this a little bit lower to buy a bigger position, but definitely this is nibble zone, and I like these guys going into earnings, so definitely keep an eye on. And any type of pullback, I'm going to be reaffirming my position currently that I have on any type of pullback below current levels that it's at right now at 3206. All right, here's a little background on the company. Listen, these guys are in the EV sector, and this is battery charging. These plays are not a matter of if this industry explodes, it's when this industry explodes, okay? So you need to get in sooner than later, and you might as well establish some sort of position. I'm not saying go all in, but definitely establish your position in some of these EV plays that aren't true just car plays, and make sure that you guys get in this, because this is going to take off 1, 2, 3 years down the road, and you want to make sure that you guys are in low because it's going to explode. Okay, this is the next big industry push that we're seeing on the federal, state, local, retail. Everybody's looking at this, and this thing is going to be pumped with a whole bunch of money. So get in at the ground floor and ride this wave to the top. All right, team, hey, those are the ones that got my eye on, all right? I'm going to be paying attention to all of them, but specifically those ones, because those are the ones that I think have the most opportunity to move with implied volatility and, sentiment and all these things like that. So those are the ones I'm watching. Make sure you guys got a plan, TWR, planning, training, managing, securing. Make sure your plan is squared away so you guys are ready to attack, destroy, and conquer on Monday, okay? New market on Monday, new week. You don't know what to expect. You got to play it by ear, but make sure you got a plan going into it. Next, we're going to take a question from the Frontline, all right? We got a question from Discord, and it was a great question. I enjoyed talking with him. So let's see what the question is, and let's get the answer. Here we go. All right, our question from the Frontline comes from Self Legend. Automatic thumbs up for me. I know it takes a lot of time to do a video, so thanks. How can you determine what sector a stock is in? Example, AITX or HITIF. They could go either way with multiple uses. Just looking to have a balanced portfolio. Also, what type of trader am I? I started off as a long-term investor to day trader to options player and now back to long-term holder. Most importantly, just leaving my emotions on the sideline. I know will be a huge help. Still in the process. All right, Self-Legend, appreciate the comment and appreciate the question, and let's see if we can get you an answer. Let's answer your industries first. So I got a couple slides, and we're going to go over those real quick. So let's get it. All right, Self-Legend. So first of all, we need to understand that, different sources that you have will put all stocks and all companies into 10 to 11 sectors, right? You got technology, healthcare, telecom, consumer staples, industrials, utilities, financial, consumer discretionary, real estate, materials, and energy. Now, all of these big sectors, they have smaller sectors that make them up, such as healthcare, right? You're going to have biotech, medical research, medical equipment, and pharmacology. Telecom, you're going to have, infrastructure, wireless connectivity, internet connectivity, phones, cell phones, so on and so forth, right? So they all have the big picture and then little pictures that all go underneath them and underpin them. When they file with the SEC kind of puts them into a broad category for tracking purposes and historical purposes and data purposes. Now, I like this picture here because this kind of shows how the industries kind of help each other or underpin or how they work together. So basic materials, right? Covering healthcare and services, both kind of fall into basic materials, right? Non-cyclical goods, right? Both services and technology fall into that sector, right? Cyclical goods, some of the technologies and utilities fall into that, right? Energy, utilities, and transportation fall into that. Conglomerates, transportation and financials, and capital good, financials and healthcare. So you can kind of see how a lot of these kind of underpin or support or fall into multiple categories. But the big thing is when they file with the SEC is going to give them an identifying thing for historical purposes and data tracking and all that stuff. And that's going to be the big part of the index that they're going to fall into. And then, their services, depending on what the company does, can fall into multiple subsectors that kind of underpin and cross over and support other larger industry sectors as well. Good question. Now let's answer your second part. Now, moving into your next part of the question, what type of trader are you? There's a few different type of traders, but they can be broken down into a couple different categories, right? Fundamental trader, noise trader, and market timers. And we're going to talk about a little. I'm going to briefly go over these because I'm going to have the links in the discussion point so that you guys can click on the links and do your own research and kind of find out. But basically, I'm going to give you guys some broad spectrum ideas on what type of traders meet what type of personalities. All right, so your fundamental trader, you guys are looking at the entire company as a whole, the management, the financials, the balance sheet, the future products, the pipeline. You want to know what this company will be and who's with this company in the future. And usually fundamental traders, they're more long-term position traders where they're looking out 1 year to 5 years to 10 years. All right, noise traders, you guys are more technical traders, right? You guys are looking at the charts, you're looking at MAs, EMAs, indicators. You're looking for things to bounce off of historical lows, historical highs, support and resistance, things of that nature. You're also following trends where the market's flowing to, rotation of money within the market. And you guys usually fit into more of a day trader to a swing trader type of category. All right, sentiment trader. This can be classified as your meme trader, right? These guys are riding the trends, okay? A good example of this would be the GME craze, right? Those GME craze, diamond hands, holding forever. The stock was shorted, looking for the short squeeze, so on and so forth. That's a sentiment trader. Market timer, probably the most difficult type of trader to be because you can't truly time the market, but you can look at the trends in the market. Example would be, we know that the market cools down a lot in March and beginning of April, and then starts to heat up historically the latter part of April and into May. It starts cooling down again, and in the summer months it heats up, cools down, and going into the holiday season it heats up again. So that would be an idea of a market timer, but this one's very difficult, and more often than not it just comes down to luck. When you got someone's like, man, I timed the market perfectly, it was more luck, okay? Because 99% of the time you cannot time the market and you cannot time a stock. When you get in low and you sell out high, it's more luck than anything. Just a little more detail on what we just talked about. Go ahead and pause this, read up on this, and also, man, remember, check the description because all the links are there so you can deep dive into this. All right, scalping. So this one's a rapid form of trading stocks, right? You're in and you're out very quickly. You get in, you ride momentum, volume, sentiment. You get in, you get out 5, 10, 15%, and you're out. This one is the most time consuming because you got to really pay attention to stocks, and you have to be focused on particular stocks and particular industries. So this one's the most time consuming, and it's the most rapid, and usually your profits are not as great because you're only looking for rides up before you get out. Short rides up 5, 10, 15%. Boom, I'm out. Let it cool down. Hop back in 5, 10, 15%. Boom, I'm out. Let it cool down. So on and so forth. Repeat, rinse, and repeat. Day traders, all right, you guys aren't afraid to hop into a stock at the beginning of the day and watching the stock and riding it throughout the day, okay? Normally, day traders will hop in after the morning bell dip. They'll get in low and they'll ride a stock that got beat up at the morning bell or a big sell-off, and they'll ride the stock up and get off. They typically will watch 1 to 2 stocks throughout the day, and they'll make their moves whenever they see a peak in the stock and they get out. So day traders usually won't hold overnight. Probably most traders come into the swing trade where you're looking at holding a trade, a couple days to a couple weeks, and you're not afraid to hold over a weekend and stuff like that. So example would be Disney has earnings this week, right? I would have got into Disney last week. I'm not afraid to ride the wave of earnings up, and I wanted to make sure I got in last week, so I got in low before the ride up into earnings, buying a rumor, selling the news, so on and so forth. Now, swing trading can be long-term, but mainly with swing trading, you're looking at a couple days to a couple weeks, and then you're out. And this is more trading. You're not looking for long-term investments, but you're not taking away the potential of a stock that you're getting excited about and making a long-term investment. And finally, position trading. This is your long-term investment, all right? This is your forever stocks. These are the stocks that you don't really care what they do throughout the thing. A good example of this is people that are really bullish on Tesla, right? Tesla, man, it'll go up to $740 and down to $650, and it's a day trader's or a swing trader's dream, right? Especially if they get in at good lows and sell at good highs. But a position trader already gets their stock in and they're just riding a wave, and on any type of dip they're going to reaffirm their stock. So good examples of these two are Apple. Any type of Apple weakness, so many people are bullish on Apple, man, they're buying up huge positions in Apple. Oh, it dipped, boom, buy the dip, right? And they're just riding this. They expect Apple to do extremely well in the future, which it probably will. Amazon's another example of that. Tesla is becoming one of those examples. Microsoft, the FANG type of stocks, these are all your position trading stocks. So they're long-term thinking, don't really care about the volatility in the short term because they got high conviction of the stock that in the long term, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, this thing is going to outperform and it's going to go nothing but up. All right, hey, listen, if you got a question, I need you to post on one of the social media platforms, YouTube, one of the other ones. Check the description. All the links are there. Give us the questions, right? Because your questions, no question is a bad question, all right? And your questions make me better, make the team better, and make us all better because the questions are out there to help educate everyone. So thank you, Self-Legend. Next person I hope gives a good question. Let's try to get someone on Reddit to give me a question, okay? We haven't had one on Reddit, so I want a question from Reddit. So if you got Reddit, look me up, get the link, and give me a question on Reddit. Now, let's talk about the You Pick It, I Buy It, okay? We got a winner. All right, I put the poll out there. Remember, this is a team building event. I put out sectors and stocks that I think are going to do good in the future. They're usually, low range. They're not trendy. So it's there for people to kind of research and do their own DD on, right? It's supposed to be fun. It's team building. But at the end of the day, the winner, I buy shares of it on Monday with $100. Yes, not very much, but you know what? $100 is still $100, and I'm buying shares. And hopefully we're going to hold these and see what happens. So I got the rules, as always, I got the rules for the You Pick It, I Buy It. I got the 5 stocks, and we're going to go over the winner right now. Let's hit it. And the winner of the You Pick It, I Buy It was dun 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 AUMN. So let's look at it and talk about it. All right. AUMN, we can look at the chart. We saw that it had a high back in February, kind of went down, down, consolidate, down, started getting on an upswing, down. All right, I'm liking this chart. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're starting to see an upward trend, making higher highs, higher lows. The RSI looks good, a little high, but it's kind of coming down on a downward check. The MACD looking nice. Volume starting to pick up a little bit from some lows that we had in March and April. All right, chart looks good. All right, so let's talk about this stock a little bit. Golden Minerals Company, right? It's a mining company that owns the Verdania and Chicago precious metals mining property and associated with oxide and sulfate processing plants. First of all, I want to thank you guys for not picking the one on there that was a gold mining company, all right? Now, we need to understand something about minerals, precious metals, precious minerals, mining, all this stuff. All this is going to play into the future with this EV boom, okay? It takes minerals, it takes metals, it takes mining, all these things. Now, not just that, we also need to remember that metals are going to come into play with the infrastructure, okay? The infrastructure is trying to be rebuilt, so all this is playing it, and you're not going to see immediate results like right now, but we're talking 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the road. This industry is going to be primed to explode. So this stock, thank you guys for picking it. I see this with a bright future, and I look forward to purchasing this on a dip on Monday, and I'll update all the social media platforms when I do it and let you guys know that I'm going to war with you with your pick. Let's get it.
All right, team, hey, that's a wrap. Sunday Motivator over. I hope you're ready for Monday's market opening. I know I am. Man, we're going to go out there and we're going to kill it. And I'm going to use the word. If you ain't out there hustling this next week, man, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to be hustling every day, trying to make it to the promised land, all right? And that means you're going up, all right? Profitsville, right? So if you ain't hustling, you ain't doing your job, all right? Go out there and get your hustle on. But we got to be smart, okay? We got to make sure we got a plan, we're trained, we're managing, and we're securing all of our portfolios, all of our positions, so that we're better prepared today than we were yesterday. And I tell you guys, that's the goal, that's the end goal, that's always the goal. And here at Traders World, when we look at the stock market like the war zone, the stocks and the sectors, those are our battles, okay? We're doing it together as a team, as a community. Attack, conquer, destroy, looking for the best opportunity to strike in, strike hard, get in low, get out high, or we ride this thing as long as we can, forever, maybe in some of our positions to the promised land, so that we're more profitable in the long run, we're more trained in the long run, we're smarter, we're more market, savvy, we got more experience, all of that stuff. We're doing it together. Now, as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war together, team. All right.